What is up, everybody? Mr. G's Math Videos, another episode. Welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be looking at bridging partial product to standard algorithm. So, in fourth grade, you guys learned how to multiply using a strategy called partial product. Well, in fifth grade, we're going to be connecting partial product to standard algorithm because by the time you leave fifth grade, you guys need to be masters at multiplying with standard algorithm. So let's jump on into it. So the first thing I want to talk about partial product strategy. It's a great strategy. What it does is we decompose or take apart unfriendly numbers and we make them into friendly numbers. So they're a little easier to work with. So for example, 182 times 6. That's a pretty difficult problem. 182 is not a friendly number. So in partial product strategy, we're going to decompose that into place values. So 182 is going to decompose into 100 times 6 plus 80 times 6 plus 2 times 6. So now these numbers are a lot easier to work with because they're in groups of 10, and 10s are always easier to work with. So just like in addition and subtraction, we are always starting with the smallest place value. So the first thing I want to do is multiply 6 times 2, and that's going to give me 12. The next step is 80 times 6, and we're going to be using our rules of 10 here. 8 times 6 is 48, and since there's 1 0, I'm just going to add 1 0 to the end of 48, and so I get 480. And then finally, 100 times 6, I'm going to do 1 times 6, which is 6, and then add 2 zeros to the end of that, which gives me 600. Now, once I have these parts completed, I'm going to take all those parts and add them together, and that's going to give me a total of 1092. So that in a nutshell is partial product. It's just decomposing a difficult number into friendlier pieces. Okay, now let's see how that's all connected to standard algorithm. So we've got our partial product strategy. We had those parts, we added them, we got our total. Now in standard, we are going to do the exact same thing. The only difference is we're not making all these different equations. We are going to do all the work in this single equation. And we're going to be using regrouping, like we do in addition and subtraction, to solve this problem. So the first step is taking the ones place down here, the 6, and we are going to multiply it to the ones place in our part on the top. So we're going to do 6 times 2. That's going to give me a total of 12. Well, I made a 10, so I'm going to have to regroup, shift that 1 to the left, and I'm going to write my 2 in the ones place. Second step, we're going to take that 6 and we're going to multiply it to the tens place. 6 times 8 is 48. And then I just have to remember to add that 1 that I shifted over. So I get 49 tens. I'm going to shift that 4 over. I'm going to write my 9 tens in the tens place. And now I'm ready to go to the hundreds. 6 times 100, which is 6, plus the 4 that I shifted over, that's going to give me 10. And you can see our answers match, 1092. So in standard algorithm, we're doing exactly the same thing as partial product. We're just keeping a little more concise, we're more efficient, and it's a little bit faster. All right, let's take a look at 2 more problems together, and then I'll have you guys do some practice on your own. So our first one, 543 times 5. So just remember, ones to ones. 5 times 3, which is 15. We're going to regroup. Now we're going to go ones to tens. 5 times 4 plus that 1 we shifted over. So 5 times 4 is 20 plus 1, 21. I'm going to regroup. And then again, ones to hundreds, 1 times the hundreds place. 5 times 5 is 25, plus that 2 is going to be 27, and then we'll add our comma for the thousands. So my product of 543 times 5 is 2,715. All right, one more practice problem together. So first step, 3 times 5 equals 15. I'm going to regroup. Then I'm going to go to the tens place. 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 1 is 10. Regroup. Then I'm going to go to the hundreds. 3 times 2, which is 6, plus the 1 I moved over, 7. There's no regrouping on that one because I didn't make a 10, so I just have to write the 7. And then finally, I'm going to take that 3 and I'm going to multiply it to the thousands place. 3 times 1, which is 3. Since there's no regrouping, I just have to write that 3 in the thousands. And there's our product, 3,705. How do you guys feel about that? I like standard algorithm, a lot more faster, less steps, less chances to make mistakes. All right, let's see how you do on your own now. So I want you do these 2 practice problems, pause the video, use your scratch paper, see if you can do those 2 on your own. Once you have your answers, hit unpause, and then we'll walk through those steps together. All right, Manta Rays, how do you think you did? Let's check out this first one. So again, the first step, ones to ones. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 5 is 30 plus 1. That gives me 31. And then lastly, 7 times 6, which is 42, plus that 3 is going to give me 45. So your answer to that first multiplication problem, 4,512. All right, last one. 2 times 5 is 10. We're going to regroup. 2 times 3 is 6, plus the 1 we shifted over, 7, no regrouping. 2 times 9 is 18. That I do need to regroup. And then finally, 2 times 2 is 4, plus that 1 we moved over. That's going to be 5. There's our product, 5,870. How did you do? Hopefully you got both of them right. All right, think to yourself, we're going to do a little temperature check here. Scale 1 to 5. How do you feel? 5 being confident, you got this, you remember the steps. 1, 2, we need a little more practice. That's all right. So hopefully you're in that kind of range of 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 if you've been practicing this. Just remember, the more you practice, the easier it's going to get. If you do 10 of these, by the 10th problem, you are going to be a multiplying master. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for me. That is us bridging the partial product strategy to that standard algorithm. And again, by end of 5th grade, that is where we want all of you guys to be. All right, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you get notifications on any new videos. And that is going to wrap it up for me. Until next time, Manta Rays, keep on mathin'.